So I'm here in Italy with yet another of God's children.
Hi, I am Massimiliano. I'm very happy to be here with Eric. It's the first time I see in person you. I'm happy to see you.
It's a pleasure to be with you. Thank you so much. And Massimiliano, I hope I got that right, has a very interesting story to tell us. So we'll begin with what got you to wake up to the reality of Jehovah's Witnesses.
I started to have some doubts when the period of COVID vaccine, and I don't understand why the governing body push the brothers and sisters to do something in a one way.
Right.
I'm not agree with this because I think that every one of us have the free of choice
Right.
to do the things. So it's something that sound strange in my mind and start some doubts about the direction of the governing body.
Right. Excellent. Well, that being the case, then that by itself probably wouldn't have been enough for you to wake up, but it gave you the start. And then what did you do?
I start to write to the governing body a letter that I spread the reason because I don't, I'm not agree with them about this, the way they use for to push the people in one way.
Right.
And I write scriptures that talk that God know that if a sparrow fall down, know exactly what happened. No?
Right.
And I know that some vaccine is built with cells, embryonic cells,
Right.
and that is not correct for my point of view.
Right.
I don't want to say to everyone to think like me, but my
Exactly.
point of view is this, and my conscience don't permit to me to take the vaccine.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
So I write this to the governing body, and they after some day, some week exactly, three elders telephone to me. One elders telephone to me. I meet three elders, and they ask me what the governing body say. So they say to me, and they said me that my point of view about the vaccine is correct, but they said me don't to speak to the brothers and sisters about this problem for not to create some problem in the congregation. No?
So just to be clear, you wrote a letter to the governing body,
Yes.
and the result was that three elders were told to go and visit you,
Yes,
and they agreed with your point, but you were told,
yes,
don't talk about it.
yes.
Okay.
Yes, and this sounds strange for me because if there is something that someone in conscience don't want to do, why don't hide something that could be a danger for someone? No?
Exactly.
You understand my English is not so good.
Yes. If you really feel it's, well, the thing is, if they have freedom of speech to tell the brothers to take the vaccine, why don't you have freedom of speech to tell the brothers about the vaccine?
Correct. In fact, that is something that sounds very strange.
Yes.
So for the reason I began to have some doubts. I pray God very much about this, and I started to read to see some video that the organization called Apostate, but
Right.
I think now that is not so,
Right.
because as I say you before, if I face judge, I have to listen not only the accusation but the defense too.
Right.
If
can't make
I
a
listen
judgment if you
only
don't hear
one,
both
it's
sides.
difficult to understand what is the truth.
Absolutely.
I know that the truth, not fear of the false.
Exactly. Yes. Truth has nothing to fear.
I start to read the book of Furuli,
Yes, Rolf Furuli.
Rolf Furuli, yes, my beloved religion. And I understand that the parable of the slave
Right.
is a parable, not a prophecy.
Right.
And my mind start to open. I pray God, and I understand that that the only channel for to go toward God
Yes.
is not a man, is not an organization, but is only Jesus Christ.
Right.
The Bible tells this in John chapter 14, verse 6.
Yes. Very right. Very true.
And I read the book of, I started to read the book of, not Furuli,
Raymond France?
Raymond France,
Yes.
Raymond France, yes,
And the Crisis of
Cries of
Conscience.
Conscience, and Freedom,
In Search of Christian Freedom.
Christian Freedom in Italian.
Right. You got them in Italian. Yeah.
Yes, and my mind began more
really
open
open.
again, and now I understand that the truth is not in an organization, but in the Bible, in Jesus.
Right.
For the reason, when I understand, I open my mind in this way, I pray God that I don't want to remain a Jehovah's Witness, but not because I don't love my brothers and sisters,
Right.
because I love my brothers and sisters,
Yeah.
but I want the free to be a Christian, the free to be what I am,
Right.
to be what I think, and to love Christ and God in a right way.
Right.
This is the reason. So I pray God to help me to face everything for go out of the organization.
Right.
I decided to not to write a letter and to leave the organization by myself.
Right.
But I decided to face the judicial committee
Yes.
because the brothers and sisters for me is brothers and sisters, and I don't want stay away from them.
All right. Okay.
I don't like some point of the organization, so I prefer that the elders catch me out.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
And I pray God to help me to face the situation. I know that it's not easy
No.
because I'm not a strong person. I pray God for to do this, and I find the force for to do that.
Right.
But I think that my choice to be this fellowship, I think that is the best way, not only for me that now I am free, but is the best way for to help my family too, and other brothers and sisters, because my step can help the people to think about me,
Right.
and so about what they believe.
Right. So really, undergoing this persecution is a loving way to
Yes.
show them what a stand for truth really means.
Yes, yes,
And perhaps they'll realize that their motivation isn't really out of love, but
Yes.
out of fear.
yes.
Right. So would you say that Jehovah's Witnesses, while believing they are following the Christian standard of love, really are motivated more by fear?
Yes, I think so. They motivated by the fear because I think that many Jehovah's Witnesses know that there is something no good, no right in some rule of the organization. But the fear to be shunned from the organization stop the people to do what they want to do in love for Christ.
Right. Do you feel that the organization's stand on the pandemic has been a major problem for them in causing people to wake up?
Yes, I think that is a motive that push many people to wake up from the organization. Yeah.
Right. Interesting.
It's very interesting. Yes,
Yeah.
I hope that some people wake more in the future
Right.
and broken the wall that the organization built between them and the world, for
Right.
to see with their eyes and confront what is around them, for to understand what really the Bible said, not our what the organization said to think, but with their mind, by themselves, understand what the Bible say.
Right. So I think I've said this before, but I got it from one of our dear Italian friends just here. So this has been, for me, proof of the faithful slave, because we feed each other. So I was fed with this wonderful little anecdote that the mind is like a parachute. It only saves you when it opens.
Yeah. Yes.
And I'm going to keep reciting that over and over, because it's such a powerful little example. And you were mentioning recently, or just a few minutes ago, about a scripture, I think, from Psalm 146.
Yes,
3.
yes. The Psalm 146, verse 3, that say clearly, "Put not your trust in princes, nor in the Son of Man, in whom there is not help."
Exactly.
So we have to trust in God and His Son, Jesus Christ.
Right. And you know, I like that even better. This is one of those times when I like the New World Translation, because it says, "In whom there is no salvation."
Yes.
Right? And yet, for Jehovah's Witnesses, they believe that obedience to the governing body will result in their salvation.
But it's not so.
Not so, yes. Well, thank you so much for coming forward and sharing these things with us. Is there anything you'd like to say to the community at large? Because many are, I know one thing. You mentioned to us earlier about when you first woke up, you were concerned you'd be all alone.
Yes, yes. When I wake up, I thought to be alone, and I pray God. What I do, I am alone, but I understand and I know while I navigate on internet, and I read some book and I see some video, and I find many people, many brothers and sisters that think the same thing, the things I think. So I find more brothers and more sisters in all the world. Now I'm here to talk with you.
Right.
You are from Canada. I'm here in Italy.
Right.
In the past, I don't think to be able to do so.
No. So just like the prophet who thought he was all alone, then God said there are 7,000
Yeah.
who haven't bent the knee to Baal. And I always found that an interesting number, because 7 and 10 often mean completeness, heavenly and earthly. So 7,000 is a complete number of others that have opened up to God. So, and we found the same.
Yeah.
We found the same. So there's nothing to fear by seeking the truth.
Yes, we have always to fight for the truth. If we have to love the truth, and despite the problem that we have to face, we have to do what is right.
Right.
Without fear.
Yes. And that takes courage as well, which is one of the qualities that is a salvation quality, according to Revelation.
Yes, but I think that this courage is not from me, but from God.
Right. Exactly. Well put. Well, thank you so much, Massimiliano.
Yes.
Did I get it right?
Yes, right.
Okay,
Right.
working on it.
It's a pleasure for me, Eric, to stay here with you and to talk with you.
The same. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye for now.